Powered by MPB, this is Chalkboard Chat, an MPB education podcast, hosted by Jermaine Flood and Tara Wren. To hear this episode and more, visit education.mpbonline.org or download the MPB Public Media app to listen on your iPhone or Android device.
I am Dr. Michael C. Anderson of the Jackson State University, and I am honored to serve as the Learning Specialist for the division. And this is your Chalkboard Ch Slate Session. First, let me start off by saying it is an honor for me to share my 3 main points for all educators. And so I want to start with just asking a question. This question was a question that was once asked of me as I was facilitating a class at Jackson State University. And it was a class that the majority of them were teachers, and some of them worked in staff within the school. But there was a teacher that stood up and said, "You are encouraging us to always inspire our students. Who's going to inspire us?" And so I asked the question tonight, your job as a teacher is to inspire your students. But that leaves you asking one important question. Who's going to inspire you? And so I would like to answer that question tonight, because I think in the midst of the pandemic that we're in, everything has changed for educators, but your mission to be educators have not. So I began with this. There's a quote that says, "Some are called, but few are chosen." And so I have to ask you, are you called to teach or are you chosen to teach? Because there's a difference. I myself tried to do everything else besides teach because I never thought that I would be good at it. But it's the call that has helped me matriculate and be where I am today as an educator. And so I wanted to share something with each of you tonight. And I do things in threes. So thing number one, I wanted to remind you that in the midst of the pandemic that we're in, as educators, we love to be on time and we love things done in decency and in order. And we kind of get frustrated when things don't go as we plan. Thing number one, be adjustable. And being adjustable, it does not mean that things are going to get off track. It just means that you know how to adjust things around the track. And so I wanted to share with you to stop first, listen, and then adjust. Because there's a lot of things that go on with students that we sometimes are not aware of. There's a lot of things that go on with our coworkers that we are not aware of. So, but if you would take the moment, instead of getting frustrated first, to just stop, to hear their story, and then make the necessary adjustments. Because it's all about seizing the opportunity to teach. Thing number two, always remember your purpose. As a young Black student in the Natchez Adams School District, I was a student that was told by my 2nd grade teacher, and she was not deliberately speaking with me, but she was speaking with another teacher, but I overheard the conversation. And she said to that teacher, "This little boy is never going to be anything, so he needs to drop out and get a trade today." I didn't understand. I just couldn't understand, and I didn't know then what a trade was. But I did know that lit a fire under me to become the teacher that I am, and the teacher that each of us should be, which is to reach back. Don't forget your purpose. Reach back and help someone else, because that fire became gasoline for someone else. And I'm that fire that was lit by that 2nd grade teacher, and a lot of us would have taken that totally different. But I seized the opportunity and I allowed that to be the fire, but I also use it as gasoline to impact other students that I have in contact with. So remember your purpose. As an educator, all of us have a story. Revert back to that story so that you can make an impact in the task that you've been given. And then finally, my thing number 3 would be Remember that you are a gift. And in that gift, you have been placed in a particular place to make a difference. And gifts rewrap other gifts. So what I'm simply sharing with you is, don't forget that you were gifted with certain abilities and tools to be where you are today. So with those things being said, you take those abilities and those tools to go into whatever atmosphere, wherever place you are, and you rewrap the mind of your students. That makes a better tomorrow for each of us. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to end tonight with sharing this one thing with you. Remind yourself what your goals are. Go out and achieve those goals. And in the midst of doing that, you have made a difference. Be encouraged. Once again, I am Dr. Michael C. Anderson, Learning Specialist with the Division of Athletics at D. Jackson State University. And this has been your Chalkboard Chat Slate Session.
You've been listening to Chalkboard Chat, an MPB education podcast. To hear this episode and more, visit education.mpbonline.org or download the MPB Public Media app to listen on your iPhone or Android device. This podcast is hosted with love by ACAST.